we're going to do a mathematically based trick called Jack the Bounty Hunter. So the first thing you need is to take out a jack. I like to use the jack of spades. This is the bounty hunter, and he is so good. He always finds who he's looking for, no matter what. So you're going to put him aside. And then you're going to ask your spectator to take the deck, and they can shuffle it any way they want, for as long as they want to, until they're satisfied that the cards are shuffled. And then either you can do this step, or they can, but you need to make 2 piles of 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then one more pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so once you have 2 piles of 15, you ask the spectator to choose a card from the remaining cards here. And let's say they choose this one. It is the 4 of clubs. You put the rest of the deck away. So they have that hidden from you. You cannot see it. And then you ask them to cut both piles. Boom, boom, any way they want. And then you ask them to put the card that they chose onto one of the piles that's close to them, this one or this one. So they choose, and then tell them to select one of these piles to go on top of it. And again, they should put this card face down so you can't see it. So let's just say they choose this pile, they take it, they put it on top. And then you tell them to put the bounty hunter face up so we can see him on the pile they did not choose. And then the remaining pile goes on top of the bounty hunter, and then this whole stack goes on top of this stack. And again, you can instruct the spectator to do all of those steps, so you actually do not have to touch the cards. And once you set this up correctly, you actually cannot mess up the trick. It's mathematically based. It will work now. So what you do is you start sifting the cards into 2 piles. And this is where you can tell a story. You say, okay, the bounty hunter is looking for your card, your suspect. He's trying to narrow it down to what town your suspect is. He's sniffing the air. He's looking for clues. Then he decides, I can feel it. Your suspect's in this pile. So you put the other pile away. And then now he knows what city the card's in. He's going to find out what neighborhood. So he's looking through the neighborhoods. And again, you can make up any story you want here. You can make it very engaging. And you find out, okay, he's in this neighborhood. And so you pick up the pile, and then you start talking about the bounty hunter's going down the street, trying to verify what street your guy's in. He knows he's in the street. He just knows it. And then the final step here is he's going house to house, and he can feel it. He's got you. He's got you trapped. And then you flip the card, and voila, it's the card that they chose. And this is a mathematically based trick, so there's no sleight of hand. And if you do the setup correctly, it will always work. So I'm going to show real briefly why it works. Okay, here's a quick look on why this works. So you have 2 piles of 15 at the beginning. Here's 15, here's 15, and you ask them to cut the deck. So when you cut it, you're splitting 15 in half in 2 different ways. So these are 2 possibilities. And then you ask them to choose a pile to put their card on. Let's say they choose this pile. Okay, and then you ask them to choose another pile to put it on top. Let's say they choose this pile, and it goes on top of this pile. Now, next, you put the jack on the pile they did not choose, which is this pile. So you finish it off by putting this pile on this pile. Okay, so let's write out what they have. So there was 5 cards. So that's this 5 here. And then they put their card. Okay, so I'm going to put let's just say they chose a ace. So that's their card. And then 7 cards right here go on top of the ace. And then there's 10 cards here. And on top of the 10 cards is where the jack is. That's the bounty hunter. And on top of the jack goes the final 8 cards. Now, no matter how you split this, this number here and this number here is always going to add to 15. And then this number here is going to add to 15, regardless of how they split and chose to stack the deck. And you have to think of this as a loop, right? This is a loop. I know it's a stack, but consider it a loop. And because you have these 2 numbers and these 2 numbers that are kind of complementary to each other, when you start taking out every other card, because of this relationship, if these add to the same number as these, you will be whittling down each group kind of at the same rate, and eventually the A and the jack will become together, regardless of what you chose here. If you want more info on why this works, comment below and I'll make a longer video.